You're a rock star! Oh, honestly, amazing. Hey everybody, hope you're well. In today's video, you're going to see me using the new V100 speedlight and the new X3 Trigger from Godox on one of the coldest portrait shoots I have done all year. Plus, at the end of the video, I will show you how I edit out Helen and the speedlight from the final images in Photoshop, so stay tuned. Now, for full transparency, Godox very kindly sent me these items to review, but they have not asked me to say anything in this video. Plus, if you watch my channel, you will know that just about every live shoot I have uploaded to my channel has featured Godox lights, as I've been using their speed lights and triggers for years. So even if Godox hadn't sent me these items, I would probably have bought them anyway. As always, rather than making a boring review video, as I always prefer to do for videos like this, I will be showing you behind the scenes on a real shoot where I used the Godox V100 for the first time. Since the shoot you're about to see, I've used the V100 at weddings, at my recent workshops, YouTube shoots, and I've even taken it to Paris with me for an engagement shoot, and it's been brilliant to use. But before I take you behind the scenes on the shoot, let me first of all tell you a little bit about the V100 and the X3 Trigger and why I think you'll really like them. The Godox V100 is a 100 watt speed light which you can use on or off camera. It is powered by a lithium ion battery which is capable of 500 full flashes per charge, and one of my favourite features is that the battery can be charged either in the speed light or on its own by USB-C, meaning that you don't now need a separate battery charger. The star of the show with the V100 is the colour touchscreen, which makes everything seem so much simpler. I've always found the dials and the wheels on speedlights to be really overly complicated and not user intuitive. You can change the power of the flash by simply running your finger over the screen, and changing between different groups is very quick and easy. The main menu is only a couple of taps away, and again it's really easy to scroll through. Size wise, compared to the other two flashes which I use the most, the Godox AD200 and the Godox V863, the V100 sits in between, but is closer to the V860 in size than it is to the larger AD200, especially when the flash head is tilted forwards. This smaller size is actually really important to me, as this could be the difference between it fitting in my camera bag and it not fitting in my camera bag. Power wise, the V100 offers 100 watts of power compared to the 76 watts from the V860 and 200 watts from the AD200. The V100 is a round-headed speed light, which means that the light from the flash will be more pleasing. Godox also very kindly sent me their new X3 Trigger to try as well. Now, this thing is tiny. You barely even realise it's on your camera when you're using it. Like the V100, the X3 is also touchscreen, and once you get used to it, it is also extremely easy to use. As you can see here, it syncs seamlessly with the V100. Notice how as I change the power of the flash on the X3, the V100 reacts and changes almost instantly. One of my favourite features of using this combo is that it is so quick and easy to turn on the V100's modelling lamp from the trigger. Not only that, but you can even change the power of the lamp from the trigger as well. And my favourite feature of all, when using the X3 Trigger and the V100 speedlight, the minimum flash power is now 1256, which is a huge benefit if you're ever shooting in very low light locations, as it may mean that you now no longer need to use an ND filter on your flash. The X3 can also be charged by USB as well, so no more AA batteries and chargers. Now, it's always been very important to me that the trigger which I use allows me to very quickly select different groups, change the power of these groups, and turn each group on and off quickly. As a wedding photographer working in fast-paced environments, if it takes more than just a couple of seconds to turn a group on and off, that for me is too slow. Thankfully though, the X3 is extremely quick at this, as you can see here. So this is my very first time using the new Godox V100. Thank you again for Godox for sending this to me. I'm very, very grateful. Plus, also the first time that I'm using the new X3 Trigger, which is really cool. It's tiny, Really small little trigger. So yeah, it'd be a good little learning exercise, this video for me. Should say though, I made a big mistake. So if you follow me and my channel, you'll know how much I love using MagMod modifiers and the Magbox in particular. I'm very proud to be a MagMod ambassador. And my plan today was to shoot Darcie with the Magbox, but I made a mistake. Because the V100 is a round head, it doesn't fit into the mag ring. Now, just to explain this better, this is the mag ring, which I use to attach my speed lights to my Magbox. And as you can see, the V100 doesn't fit into the mag ring. So that's why I was unable to use my Magbox on this shoot. However, what I didn't realize is that the Mag Ring 2, which at the moment I don't have, solves this problem because this central compartment area here is removable in the Mag Ring 2, which allows you to use the V100 or other round-headed speed lights in the Mag Ring. So I do have one on order and there is a solution. I just didn't realize that on this shoot. So yeah, if you want to use the V100 with a Magbox, you'll need the Mag Ring 2. So instead of using the Magbox, we're going with the Mag Sphere, and I'm also going to give Helen a Mag Grid as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they look. I still think the results should be really nice. So the reason that I'm going to add on a grid as well is just because I want to try and limit the spill. So if I can give that to you, please, Helen. Fellow MagMod ambassador Helen Williams. Now, I will say it is absolutely freezing today. It's so cold. So thank you to Darcie for doing this. She is a badass. Please don't give her a follow because she deserves it for this. Also, if you see any blood on the screen, it's from my finger. Don't know how it happened, but I must have cut my finger before. Didn't even feel it because it's so cold. So Helen's very kindly improvised and made this. This is a length cloth with one of Helen's hair ties around it, but it seems to be working. So let's start shooting. I'm on my Sirui Aurora 85mm 1.4 lens. Now, if you want to see more about this lens, I have made a full review of it, which I'll link to up here. And obviously, I'm using the X3 Trigger on my Sony A9 II body. Now, one thing I want to show you, because this is really nice, if I swipe down on the trigger, and hopefully you can see this, I can turn on a modeling lamp. It's not dark at the moment. It's not bright, but it's not too dark. But you can see that that modeling lamp there will just help us to focus if it's dark. Now, what I like about this is that the modeling lamp is coming from the V100 itself, not from this area. So it will always be lighting up the area that you're going to be lighting with your flash, which I think is really cool. So let's just start shooting because it is very, very cold. I'm at 1/250th f1.4 ISO 100 at the moment, and it's going to need very little power. I'm at 128. That's really nice. Okay, Darcie, if you're ready. Love Darcie's dress as well, which she's brought to this shoot. It's not my dress, but I think it's amazing. Okay, cool. Really nice, Darcie. This is an amazing location as well. Padley Gorge. Beautiful, Darcie. Actually, Helen, can I bring you on this side, please? I'm just moving Helen round so that when Darcie looks this way, it'll just be a bit nicer light. Gorgeous. Okay, we're going to keep it there, Helen. I'm going to turn the speedlight power up to 164. Beautiful, Darcie. These are stunning. Perfect, that's that one. We'll just do a couple this way. Such a cool location here. Really nice. Okay, I'm just going to show you now how quick you can shoot with the V100. So Darcie, I want you just to do, this isn't a posing shot by any means, but I'd like you to just do that with your hand if that's all right. I want to put my shutter into medium. Now bear in mind that the speedlight power is only on 164, but I'm going to take a lot of Darcie here just to show you how quick you can shoot if you want to have a disco. Okay. Yes, perfect. Amazing. Now, I just took 12 shots there. I'm pretty sure every single one. Amazing, Darcie. They weren't supposed to be good, but they're actually really good. Yeah, every single one worked. So it's just to show you that this will recycle really quick. Now, bear in mind, that was 164 power. Let's go to 1/8. Now, you wouldn't ever do this because it's way too strong, but let's just try this. There's a couple of misfires, but not many. Obviously, they're well overexposed. They were always going to be. But yeah, it performs really, really well. Okay, Darcie, just very quick. I'm going to bring you just here, please. It's getting really dark and horrible here. I just love this background. So we're going to get that in. We're going to go back to 164 and be a little bit closer this time. So this is all about that crazy background. Beautiful, Darcie. Really nice. I'm going to have to let more ambient in because it's getting darker. So going to 100. Gorgeous. Just looking towards where the light, towards Helen, please, Darcie. Really good. And a couple in portrait because I always forget to do this. Darcie makes this so easy. And it is cheating to use like a model as good as Darcie, but who cares? Really nice, Darcie. Perfect. Coat on again. Then we'll just go down somewhere else.
I'll get it.
Oh God, it's getting really dark. Honestly, the weather is grim. I might have to use my finger lens cloth just to wipe this a little bit. Now, the great thing about the X3 in combination with the V100 is that I can now go down to 1256 power, which is brilliant because in the past, if I wanted to go lower than 128, I've had to use an ND filter on the speedlight, but now I can actually do that without needing to use a filter. So let's just see what we get here. Actually, that's really nice on 164 power still. So I'm at 125, f1.4 ISO 100. Okay, now just bear in mind with a lot of these shots, Helen's in, then she's out. Always remember if you're taking those sort of shots, composites basically, to have a shot which is clean, where Helen is not going to be in the shot. So that's why I'm going to stay still for the first few. Really nice. Gorgeous, Darcie. Darcie, can you just fling your dress up like you did before when you're like... Oh, yes, good. Really nice. Helen, can I just ask you to move, please? Okay, so again, we're at 125, f1.4 ISO 100. It's just started to rain, and I don't want Darcie not to have a coat on. Just looking up, slide towards the light as you do that for me, please, Darcie. Yeah. And go for it. Cool. Look at the light as you do that. Perfect. It's not missing one exposure. Thank you. Okay, coat on. I think we're just going to do one more and then we'll probably call it a day because it is grim. This is the UK, everyone. And this is what Darcie, by the way, is moving to Singapore shortly. I'm very jealous. You're going to miss this, Darcie, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole reason I asked Darcie to do this shoot today at Padley Gorge where we are is because of this scene here. I think it's absolutely incredible. Also, this is also where we took a shot of Darcie and Matt on their wedding day, one of my favourite shots of the whole of last year. So yeah, it's a really cool place. So I'm going to go quite far back for this one actually. Dad's going to keep a coat on up until the last second. Yeah, it's going to look so good, this one. Oh, honestly, amazing. That tree behind you is so incredible. Okay, so 125th f1.4 ISO 100. I'm at 64 power on the V100. Yeah, just looking up towards the light, please, Darcie. Stunning. That's it, holding the dress out with, that's perfect, yeah. These are epic. That's it, looking up towards the light, you're doing that. Yeah. Right, I'm going to do the same thing this time in portrait. I love these, but my God, I need to check that they're right because if they weren't, I'd be gutted. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and same again, please, Darcie. And just moving that dress again, that was so good. Just looking up. You're a rock star. Thank you, very last one's gonna come in closer, then we're done. Oh my God, it's so cold, dark, grim, grey. Just trying to make the composition so that the tree is not coming out of Darcie's head. Really nice. And just looking up, they're perfect. Thank you, Helen. We're done. Thank you very much, Darcie. Coat on. Thank you. I'm going to pass you back over to me now to talk a little bit about my experience of using the Godox V100. Thank you, Darcie. Thank you, Helen. You look cold.
I feel my fingers. Oh.
Amazing. I'm very lucky to have the best team. I've really enjoyed using the V100 Speedlight so far. It is relatively small, especially when you consider it is 100 watts. I really like the touchscreen. The modeling lamp is great, and I love the fact that it can now be charged via USB. That alone is a huge upgrade on my other lights. Also, I think the X3 Trigger is really good as well. It's really small, very easy to use, and you don't really even know it's on your camera. The only slight issue I would have with the X3 compared to the X2T, which I currently like to use, is nothing even to do with how well it works as a trigger. It's down to the fact that, as you will have seen the way that I've recorded this video, I really like to put my Insta360 camera onto the hot shoe of the X2T, because that means that once I've got this perfectly positioned over the lens, you get a very good view of what I'm shooting rather than it being slightly to the side. Obviously, with the X3, I can't do that because there's no hot shoe attachment, but you can see size-wise, this is tiny compared to the X2T. So it really just depends on what you want to use it for, but it works really well. And again, the touchscreen is really cool. Thank you again to Godox for sending me these items. They will not be leaving my camera bag. So to finish the video, I'm just going to show you now in Photoshop how I combine two exposures to remove Helen and the speedlight from the final images. So here we are in Photoshop, and I'm going to first of all go to File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack. I'm then going to browse and select the two images from Lightroom that I want to combine. The first will have Helen in the frame and the second won't. And this is the really important thing. Once you've selected your images, you need to tick this box, attempt to automatically align source images. The reason is Photoshop will do a very good job of overlaying the images on top of each other. And if you've handheld, not used a tripod, as I didn't in this video, then Photoshop will save you, because it would be very, very tricky to do this manually. Okay, so we've got two layers down here. The top one we can see we're seeing because the eye is selected. That has Helen in the frame. And if we untick that, we can see that the bottom layer is the shot that I took without Helen in the frame. Although she is over there, she's just on her way out. So what I first of all like to do is put the clean image at the top like this. And now with Option being held down on the keyboard on a Mac, I'm going to select this option here, Layer Masks. That creates a layer mask which is black. And if I now go over to the paintbrush tool over here, with the white brush selected, I can remove Helen from the frame very, very easily. And it does it in a very accurate way. Little tip, personally, when I'm doing this, I like the hardness of the brush to be set to 0, because that means you don't see the join. And as we go in very close, you'll see that you literally don't see the join. It's a perfect way of doing it. We could always use generative fill, and sometimes I do if I forget to take the base layer image without Helen in the frame, but this is obviously the better way to do it. Also, you want to make sure that the opacity of your brush is also set to 100. Should just say, if you go over too much by mistake, say we did this, and we thought, oh, we don't want to do that, then all we need to do is change the color of the brush from white to black, and that will bring back that area. Obviously, the last thing I would need to do here is just crop in. So I'll go to flatten, go to my crop tool, just crop in so we don't see the white borders. But there we go. That's it. Really, really simple. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.